Hey everyone, it's Heather from How to Be Fancy, and today I am here to show you how to get this 1950s inspired Ava Gardner hairstyle. Now, Ava's hairstyles range the full gamut from the 1940s all the way through to the 1970s in her acting career. She had everything from long to very, very short and everything in between. This look that I'm recreating today is most like her early to mid 1950s hairstyles, those that she may have worn during the Barefoot Contessa or Magembo. These are the hairstyles that I think of when I think of the iconic Ava Gardner look. So to start off with, I have two sizes of foam roller in my hair. I use a larger size here on the top crown of my head, and then on the bottom I just use a size down. That's just because my hair has a hard time keeping curl in this lower half of my head, and so I use a smaller roller to help keep all of that in. We're going to start by taking all of these out, but I wanted to show you that I have rolled all of this top section here back because Ava normally wore her hair off of her face, and then everything else I just rolled under. Ava is one of the classic Hollywood starlets that I tend to relate most to. She wasn't particularly interested in fame. Her career was kind of an accident, very much along the lines of those like Jane Russell, Rita Hayworth, Lana Turner. She was known in the beginning as a photo girl or a pinup girl, and then moved her way into acting as her career began to build. She dated many a Hollywood leading man, starting with Mr. Mickey Rooney, but her love life was typically one of heartbreak, the most iconic being her relationship with Frank Sinatra. Heartbreak aside, I find that Ava is one of the most relatable in the femme fatale vamp genre of Hollywood. She very much did her own thing and went her own way. She worked because she wanted to live a very fun and loud lifestyle, and she ended up traveling pretty much all over the world and landing her final days in the UK. Once we have all of those curlers out, I'm just going to start running my hands through to break up all of this curl. And like I said, Ava wore her hair back mostly, so I'm going to focus everything kind of away from the face today. I'm going to take my Denman brush and run it through these curls just to break it through a little bit more. This is one of the best brushes that you can find to really help break through all of this vintage curl madness. When you look at photos of Ava, a lot of her curls tended to flip up, and so as you're brushing this through, I just like to kind of direct things where I know I'm going to want them eventually, even if they're not exactly tamed at the moment. So to tame them, I'm going to take a little bit of pomade. This is a Kenra pomade that I like, but you can use anything that you know works well on your hair. Just make sure that it's something that will not weigh your hair down too much, and you want something that adds quite a bit of shine to your hair. So we're combating some frizz and adding in some shine with a pomade. And if your hair tends to lose volume really easy, make sure you don't put this like right up at your roots. Start at your ends, and then you can kind of work it up into your scalp to tame like the flyaways, but make sure the bulk of the product goes on the ends of your hair. Let me go back in with my brush and start sculpting some curls in. You can see I'm kind of flipping the curl back up on itself. Even here at the sides, I'm brushing this up and out so you get this nice S curl. And as you kind of start to get curls that you like, I'm taking a working spray, and it's just a light hold hairspray, and just lightly spritzing that to start building up the style that I want without like freezing everything into place just yet. My hair is slightly longer on top than Ava's was when she had her famous Italian cut. So I'm just kind of working with what I have, but you can see how these little curls just kind of swoop back onto themselves, and that creates that very quintessential 1950s, very much an Italian kind of style. The crown of your head is going to be brushed pretty flat, and again I'm just flipping those little ends up with the brush. So I'm using my hand to keep the crown flat, and then coming underneath and brushing up around that. Once I kind of have all of this brushed out a little bit, I'm gonna go in with my comb, and this is where we're gonna really start styling. You can add a little bit of back combing if you think that this front bit isn't going to stay up, or if you have any weird little splits in it. Just go straight in there, give it a little back comb, spritz it with your spray, and that'll help marry everything together. I'm taking a back combing brush here, just because that really helps to smooth everything out. And then I'm going to go back in with my comb. Once it kind of starts taking shape, I like to get a little more serious with my spraying, because I don't want to lose anything that I've created here. And as you spray, I like to run my hand kind of over to grab any flyaways, and this will also help make your hair a little bit shinier if you just kind of run your hand lightly over what you're spraying. And again, I always come back and comb that crown as I'm going. So now I'm using my finishing spray. And this is what is going to make our set last as long as Frank Sinatra's love for Ava, if not longer perhaps. And I like to use my hands to really get in there and wiggle the wave and manipulate it how I want it to be. And you can see how I hold the hair in place while it's drying. And that's just going to make sure that everything lands exactly where I want it. Then if your hair is feeling like it will cooperate, you take a little bit of pomade on your hands, just a itty bitty bit, right on your fingers. And then I'm going to grab just a few little pieces here and kind of turn those into those little curls that you often see around the hairline in 50s hair. If I'm not mistaken, these little curls are called kiss curls, just because they're like little kisses of curl that lay around your face. And they were super popular in French and Italian style looks. So those little baby middies that you see, kind of that Frenchy style look. Liz Taylor did this. Of course, Ava did this. Then I just take my finishing spray one final time. Make sure that you get up underneath the hair as well, especially the longer your hair is, and that will help to keep everything set into place. And there you have it, you are ready to be a Hollywood icon. I hope you guys enjoyed learning this very simple 1950s Ava Gardner hairstyle. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.